Okay, so good morning. It is Sunday, May 9th, and oh boy, I think it's Mother's Day. Well, I know it's Mother's Day. I think it might be International Scrapbooking Day, but I don't know for sure. So it's been a while since I've scrapped, which has not been my intention. I've been unwell. I was in the hospital for a while. I have kidney stones, and they had to, it's a big long story. I'm fine though, don't worry. Yeah, I had some procedures done, and they actually made a mistake and placed the stent in the wrong place, and so I was in quite a bit of pain, and that caused some complications, and I ended up being admitted to the hospital, and I had to have another procedure done to take out the stent and put it in the right place. Anyhow, it's in the right place now, which kind of helps a little bit, and I've been feeling better and better ever since it was placed in the right place. So anyhow, it's been a bit of a crazy drama, but other than that, everything has been fine. I have the April hip kit here. I have the main kit and the add-on, which I subscribed to about 2 months ago, and they sent both kits, the March and the April kit, together because there was there were some problems probably related to COVID and manufacturing and shipping challenges worldwide. So anyhow, I received both the March and the April kits this week, and I've been really looking forward to scrapbooking with them. I did create a little unboxing video that I haven't actually had a chance to edit or upload yet, so you wouldn't have seen it. But this kit is absolutely stunning. As you can see, I just adore these pinks and yellows and greens. It's just so lovely. So I'm going to be using this kit today, and I'm going to be also scrapbooking this really cool photo of my daughter in her work clothes. Yes, my daughter has a job, and so I plan to scrapbook that. And yeah, I'm just excited to be finally scrapbooking, finally feeling good enough to sit up straight and do some crafting. So in my kit unboxing video, I identified this as one of my favorites. There are lots of papers here from the Maggie Holmes Garden Party collection, and I really love so many papers in this collection that it might be a little tricky to find the ones that I like the most, but we'll get it sorted. Now, what I really like about this one is that it picks up on, her room has kind of like a purple hue. It is a gray. Her room is painted in gray, and it has mostly all grays, but she does have this galaxy light in her room that tends to cast a purple hue on everything. So I really like how this brings in that purple color that might be picked up from the photo. So I'm leaning towards using this as my background paper here. There are just so many papers in this collection that I absolutely adore. Yeah, what I'm thinking about doing in this case is, having a bit of like a vertical bunch of layers here, and then maybe something off to the side over here to kind of balance it. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm kind of leaning towards that as my general layout. I don't usually have a good sense of what exactly I want to do, but in this case, because it's a vertical photo, I kind of feel like I want to do that. Just also looking at the backs of these, I really like this one as well. I like that, but I also really like that. So these are some of the papers that I like here. I'm not sure if I really love this. Love to get some of that floral on this one. I'd love to get some of this maybe. Picks up on the pink in her pajama pants, which I think I'm actually going to cover the pajama pants because they're a little confusing. She's not actually ready to go to work here. She had been working for a couple of days, but this was when she first brought her uniform home. So she had been doing a lot of training before then in the training room, and so she wasn't out in the public. She came home and brought her uniform home and was very excited and tried it on, and I took her picture, but obviously she was in her pajama pants, so it's not her full outfit. I have some other pictures of her in her outfit, but she's a little upset that I'm taking the picture, so she's got this weird look on her face. So I thought I would use this photo with her pajama pants. And what I might do is actually put some type of embellishments that cover up the pajama pants, just so it's not, you know, a distracting element that's getting in the way of the story. So I think I will start by just matting this photo on this paper right here. I'm going to use my Tombow Mono permanent adhesive here. And so this is from the Garden Party collection from Maggie Holmes. And I'm definitely going to use this for my background paper, so let's trim off the manufacturer's strip here. I think I might double mat this and put this black. It just adds some boldness, and also where there's black in the photo, her uniform is predominantly black. This gives me a good chance to start introducing some black to the layout. And I did that last minute switch because I didn't necessarily want my torn edges to all line up. So this way my torn edges will be on the opposite sides. And it's okay that I put it upside down because you're not going to actually be able to see what the pattern is on that paper. You can kind of tell, but all right, I also wanted to use this for some cut apart, so I'm going to keep this aside. So I'm liking how that's looking so far. There we go. And Might not end up using much of that cut apart because I'm going to use a lot of this paper for layers. Although, one thing I can do, because I know that I like the back side of it, is I can actually, so I can actually gut this piece so that if there's anything in the center that I think I might want to use, I can cut it out, right? Like this piece, for example, is kind of pretty. I might cut that out. I think that's the only thing that I could imagine. I like this too, but I think that might be worth rescuing. I'm just gonna, you know, actually these scissors are going to be easier to use for that kind of a purpose. There. Oops. Oops. Hang on. This is what I love about Tombow Mono Multi, and I also love it about the ATG adhesive, is that it is quite forgiving, so that if you make a mistake, you can usually pull up your adhesive and reposition, as long as you haven't burnished it down and, you know, pressed it down hard. This might just be cut or torn a little bit unevenly, so it's I'm not wanting it to be necessarily perfect, but I do want to get a bit of black edge all the way around that. So that just adds a little bit of emphasis between my layers. I kind of am starting to feel like it might be too much, actually. I kind of feel like that might be better. I don't know. We will see. I might remove this layer of black. Okay. All right. So I already have an idea that's forming, and I might as well say it out loud. What I'm thinking I might do is take some black thread and just kind of like emphasize these lines with messy black machine stitching between these chunks of colors. That will pick up on the black that's in the photo and in the layers, and not have so much difference between the background and these layers, because these layers are becoming very bold now that they have black matting on them, and then my background is not very bold. It's very kind of soft and muted, and so that will just kind of make it feel more pulled together. Not essential, and I might not do it, but that's an idea that's forming as I go. So let's trim this little embellishment down. Oops, I'm not doing a great job of trimming it, but that's okay. I don't even know if I'm going to use this. I just thought it was worth rescuing it, just in case. Might go there or something. So what I was thinking is I kind of want like an accent embellishment, something big-ish that I could put like right here and then have something else, kind of like have a little embellishment cluster right here. But I want it to be kind of big. So let me look at what I've got here for embellishments. These are all very gardeny. And I like gardening embellishments because you can actually take them on in more of a symbolic way of growth and development, which is great for scrapbooking your kids. All right, we also have this really big 12 by 12 set of chipboard. And that might be just like a little bit too much floral. I would like something to cover up her laundry. She's a very neat kid, and she might, I mean, her room that's about as messy as her room ever gets, would be like an unmade bed and a basket of laundry. But she might think, oh my God, my room is a mess when she sees this. So I don't want her to feel that way when she sees this. Yeah, I'm very lucky. I have a kid who is incredibly neat and tidy. She's the neatest teenager I have ever met. My other teenager, not so much. Everybody's different. So then the other thing is this might be a bit more reasonable. I'm not placing it down because once you place, even though this isn't all that sticky, once you place something on a photo, it's very hard to move it. So yeah, there's that. And then I also have a number of die cuts here as well. These are frames and tags, but you know what? These do not really fit with the vibe I have going on. So I'm actually gonna skip over those. They're just like a different style. These are very gardening oriented, but look, that's a pretty flower. The nice thing about it is it's not sticky, so I can put it on there and play around with it a little bit. And even if I do a last minute switch with this other one, this is from a completely different collection, and look at how similar it is. Very similar. This is from Maggie Holmes, and this is from Simple Stories. Not even the same manufacturer. Very similar. Now for titles, my title is going to be Essential Worker. So let's grab some wax paper. These letters are super big, so I might use a different font. I might put Worker in this larger font and then Essential in a smaller font. Actually, you can't see me very well when I zoom in that much. There, I think that's a little bit better. I really like this font, but it is a little bulky. Like it's kind of big. Big is what I'm trying to say. It's not really bulky. It's nice and thin. Yeah, I think if I wrote out Essential Worker in this giant font, it would be kind of a lot, right? I have repackaged these as I do with all of my thickers. Makes it so much easier to work with. Now I'm thinking about actually pulling out some of the letter stickers that came in the March kit. So I'm gonna go grab that kit. Here it is. So this is the March kit from the Hip Kit Club. And I'm pulling it out because of these. Ooh, these are so pretty. These match beautifully with this background paper, but it might be a little bit even too matchy-matchy. These are gorgeous. They're Hip Kit Club exclusives. It would be really nice if Essential took up the same amount of space as Worker, but it's not going to happen without some work here. There we go. Now, for readability, I'm going to want to, I'm going to want to put something under that, and I have seen, let me just move all of this paper out of my way. I know I saw some labels, here they are. Essential worker. Those are not big enough. I could cut myself a label, or I could look for other labels from my stash. I have a ton of labels in my stash. These are also not big enough. Let's see if I can find some labels over in my stash. Just heading over to my Clip It Up. Just grabbed these off of my Clip It Up. A lot of these are October Afternoon. These are Lily Bee design, but the rest of these are all October Afternoon. And many of them have already been used. These are not quite white enough. These are too yellowy. And these are pretty picked over. Yeah, none of the long ones are left. Essential. Well, that green one works pretty well, size-wise. So I have another idea. If I can only find it, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find it. I have a stamp set. Let me find it and then I'll come back. Okay, so my other thought was I have these two sets of labels stamps. One of them actually comes with dies, but none of them are big enough either. So as you can see, it's not, the word essential is not going to fit anywhere. This one is nice and long, but it's not quite tall enough. So here's my next idea. My next idea is to use this as an inspiration, and I'm actually going to create my own label. I'm going to make a label. So my question is, am I going to make this, try to spread this out to be as long as the word worker? No, I'm not going to like how that looks actually. I kind of don't like spreading out my words, my letters. I like them to be nice and cozy. This is this piece of paper, which I adore, but I don't need a full 12 by 12. I'm never going to use that as a background. It's too busy. So I'm going to use some of this ledger paper on the back side. I really love ledger paper. It's one of my favorite kind of staple supplies in scrapbooking. I'm going to spell out the word essential, and I just left the little A, the little piece of plastic inside of the A. These are puffy letter stickers. And as I place them, I'm a little bit mindful of the fact that I might want to outline them, in which case I should spread them out a little bit. There we go. So I'm not going to have them quite as tight as I would have if I wasn't going to outline them. And when I outline them, I'm going to use my .005 pen, which is the thinnest pen that I have. I'm pretty sure you can get them thinner, but that's as thin as I have. A very, very fine point pen. And outlining the outsides of my letters will just give them a little bit more boldness and emphasis, increase their readability, and help them stand up to the boldness of the letters in the word worker. Because I don't want the word essential to get lost. So there we go, essential worker. Now, I'm going to use this as my inspiration. So there's a bold line and then a thin line around it. I'm going to use my ruler and use my Sharpie, and where's my other pen? Okay, this pen has like a bold tip on it. So this one has a bold and a fine, but the fine point is worn out, like it doesn't work anymore. So now, pardon my head as I, okay. I'm actually gonna do it this way so that I can see properly. And you know, it's okay if you make a mistake. If you make a mistake, you can just do it all over again, right? No worries. Those are probably not close enough together. Oops, and that one is too long. But see how I've got this going on? It's looking a little bit like a real label. Now, when I do this one, I'm not going to quite meet it. Because I want to have that. There we go. There we go. You know, it's not perfect, but I think it's okay. I really do think that it's okay. And to help with the fact that I kind of went over the lines, I'm just going to, instead of leaving a little white border, I'm just going to trim it all the way down to the black. That'll help it be less obvious about the mistakes that I made. It's the first time I've ever done that, so, you know, maybe next time I'll be a bit better at it. There. Essential. One last step here. This is my 0.005 marker. It's a Prismacolor marker. And you just want to make sure when you're outlining around your letter stickers that your letter stickers don't move on you as you're doing it, because sometimes, especially when they're not really high adhesive letters, they can shift. So if you're worried about it, you can just kind of put a finger, oops, you can't see what I'm doing. You can kind of put a finger down on it while you're outlining. These don't seem like they're moving, so I'm just trusting that they're going to stay put. And I'm just pushing the edge of my pen right against the letter sticker. And, you know, don't be too hard on yourself, and don't kind of like think, oh my gosh, this is the end. I spent all this time working on this thing, and if I mess it up at the outlining point, you know, it's just paper. If you mess it up, you can either live with it or you can do it all over again. It's just a piece of paper. The stickers can be pulled off and put on to another piece of paper, and you can do the whole thing all over again. or decide that this isn't for you and grab yourself one of those labels and do that instead. And I'm just, depending on what direction I'm printing in or outlining in, I'm just leaning my marker against the sticker so that I'm right all the way against the edge. And that helps to keep your line straight and also keep it nice and consistent looking. There we go. See how that's just a little bit more bold now? Oh, I'm pretty pleased with how this little homemade label came out. Very nice. Okay, so if we go back to my project here, now you can see how this is going to start to look. I don't know if I'm going to use this. I'm not in love with using a flower there, but if we put that there, and we put the word worker right here, that's looking pretty good, right? And now the word essential doesn't get lost in the background like it used to when it was just placed there. Those are the elements so far. Okay, so I'm pretty pleased with how this is turning out, but I'm not too gung-ho on the flower. I'm just not a very floral person. I don't typically use a whole lot of florals. I definitely want to put a little bit of twine on this page, and I'm thinking maybe this white and gold twine, but I might use a color. We'll see. I'm looking at this and thinking maybe I can find a different die cut. I see a butterfly in here, so let me try to find that and see if that might work. Oh, there it is. There's also these butterflies, which I could cut out. I like these because they're nice and bold. They have the black that is prominent in this page. Which one? I'm thinking maybe the pink one. Yeah, I'll go with that one. I like the size of that one too. Or that one is nice. I'll go with that one. Now for fussy cutting, you just want to keep your scissors straight and move the paper. And a little tiny pair of scissors really does help. These are Cutter Bee by EK Success, I believe. Oh, I thought they had their name on. Yeah, EK Success. And I'm cutting right on the line instead of giving myself a little, I often give myself a little outline. But in this case, I just decided to cut right on the line. And what I think I might do is actually outline around the outside edge in black. This is a bit of a shiny, smooth texture to the paper, so I'll have to use a slick surface writer or a permanent marker. I'm still thinking on my idea about whether or not I'm going to add some machine stitching to my background. And I'm just going to cut off those antennae. Because they would be a pain to try to... Oh yeah, that's nice. That's quite nice. Now, how about adding another one? How about this little one? I'm dealing with flowers that I tried to have flowers delivered to my mother yesterday. It was her birthday, and today's Mother's Day. And so I ordered some flowers, and they were supposed to be delivered yesterday, and I kept waiting for notification or for her to text me and say I got the flowers, but it was like 9 o'clock at night and I was getting ready for bed and I still hadn't heard anything. So I texted, or I think I emailed the company and said, like, please confirm that these were delivered. At 10:30 at night, I was already asleep at this point. They texted and emailed and said that they weren't able to deliver them on time. And my first thought was, that's okay, because today is Mother's Day, so it's okay. If they get delivered today, but they said that they'll be delivered on Monday, which is 2 days after her birthday and the day after Mother's Day. So that isn't really going to work. So anyhow, I have to stop scrapbooking and kind of deal with that, because I need to get my money back from them and place an order with somebody who's going to actually deliver at the time that they said they'd deliver, because, you know, it's supposed to be a same-day service, and today is Mother's Day, so I don't even know if that's even going to be reasonable for today. It certainly was reasonable yesterday. It's the only reason I went with them is because, well, there's lots of florists who offer same-day delivery, but, you know, they said they could do it the same day, and I ordered it first thing in the morning, like right at 9 o'clock when they opened up, so they should have been able to do it. My order should have been first of the same days. So anyhow, so I'm gonna have to stop scrapbooking in a few minutes when the local florist shops open, and I'm gonna have to find another one, and hopefully the other one will give me my money back, because I haven't heard from them, but I told them to not deliver it on Monday and give me my money back instead. And I'm just going to have to order again and hope that they give me my money back. I can't see why they wouldn't. because I placed the order based on them doing it that day. I wanted to get her an edible arrangement because I got her one of those last year and she really liked it. But I called the edible arrangement people a couple of days ago and they said that they don't have any fruit. I could have gotten her chocolate dipped strawberries, a box of those, for like $50 for 6 of them or something, which is ridiculous. I could make my own chocolate dipped strawberries for $10 for way more than 6. So yeah, I've been really having a hard time with this whole Mother's Day / birthday thing this time. Here. Oh, that's nice. That does add quite a bit of boldness to it. I like that. I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. Just added a little line there between the wings. Just because this one doesn't have any black other than the body. Okay. Lots of homemade items, like, you know, customized pieces on this one. And I am going to add that stitching that I was thinking about. So I will grab my sewing machine that has black thread. Very lucky to have 2 sewing machines. I don't have to rethread when I change from white to black. This is a very affordable sewing machine. So my little white one that I bought quite some time ago, like 10 years ago or more, it was $100, which is pretty good for a little sewing machine. And then this one I think was about $100 as well. There was a bit of a story with this one. This one was supposed to be part of a giveaway, but the person who won said that she would rather have a donation to a domestic violence charity. And so I did that, and then so what I did was I used my own money, because this was donated to us by from Scrapbook and Cards Today. And I kind of was feeling like I wanted to buy another sewing machine, to have one dedicated to black thread. And so what I decided to do was I used my own money to make the donation and of the amount of the sewing machine, and then I kept the sewing machine for myself. So it's kind of like I bought the machine myself, but also the donation was able to be made as well. So what did I just do here? There we go. So I just have to adjust my camera a little bit here. There. What is up with the lighting there, hey? That's pretty bad. Oh well. I wonder if a picture-in-picture might be good here. Let me just pause and figure that out. Okay, so let's see if this kind of split screen thing is any better. I just don't like the lighting on that one. I'm going to start by just getting one line of stitching on each. But my goal here is to be pretty casual, and so I think I'll do multiple. I gotta sort out my lighting here. Now, I actually want a longer stitch, so maybe I'll go with D, and I want to just kind of like add a little bit of I'm actually going to stop it right here. And do a bit of a cross. And again, stop it kind of abruptly so it has that messy look to it. And one more. Crossover. And we're going to stop right here. There we go. This is what I love about this machine, is that I can pick it up with one hand and just put it away. Oops, just lost one of the feet. yeah, it's super easy to use like that. So now let's go back to our main view. And now, if you were worried about the stitching coming out, because I didn't back stitch or anything, you could always reinforce your stitching with some washi tape, particularly washi tape that works, not this stuff that doesn't work so well. Yeah, so like rub-ons, washi tape doesn't last forever, so get it on your pages while it's fresh, because some washi tape, not all, I have some very old washi tape that still works perfectly, but some washi tape just peels like this. There we go. So I'm actually just demonstrating this. I'm not too worried about things coming unraveled on my pages because this is going to go in a page protector fairly quickly. If it was going to be kicking around my scrap room for a while, like they used to when I kind of took proper photos and had a bit more of a process, you could do that to just keep your stitches from coming undone. But you don't really have to, especially not if you're putting it right into a page protector fairly quickly. I'm going to leave those a little bit longer, but I might end up trimming them at the end. But for now, I'll just leave them like that. So what that does is it adds a bit more darkness and boldness to my background. So we have all of our elements here now. Okay, this is distracting, so I'm just going to cut that one off. Essential worker, and I don't know exactly how I'm going to put that, but something like that, and then this, and then this. I don't like that little corner showing there, so I think I might overlap that like that. I'm gonna go ahead and put the word worker. Oops. For the essential, I'm going to pop that up. essential worker. Aw, our little essential worker. That's what we keep calling her. And I think I will place this so that it covers up her pajama pants, which was one of my objectives here. Starting to come together, right? There we go. Doesn't have to absolutely cover them, but just kind of make it less obvious that she's wearing pajama pants. And then I like this kind of like left justified look here with the L and the R, as opposed to centered. That's not what I'm really looking for. So I kind of feel like moving the whole worker over a little bit. These letters are pretty forgiving as well. I talked about that Tombow adhesive as well as the ATG adhesive being pretty forgiving. The adhesive on thickers is pretty forgiving too, sometimes to a fault. So sometimes you have to kind of be careful that you might need to add a little bit of extra glue to keep them in place. But I do like that you can, you know, move things around and it's not going to mess up your project. So there's that essential worker. And I like how that worker kind of looks a little bit wonky. I don't know if it's because of the way that I place the letters or what. I feel like the K could come down a little bit. There. Then we can place this butterfly for sure where the laundry basket is. And I kind of feel like stapling it in place actually. I am going to use some of those dimensional adhesive just to hold the space on the wings. So I don't want these wings to sit flat once it's in my album. So one thing that I sometimes do is I'll put this dimensional adhesive, but I'm actually not going to take the backing off of it. So it's really just holding space. I put little ones on the bottom and I'm actually going to double stack the full-sized ones on the big wings. That way this will really stand up and stand out on the page. There we go. So this, even when it's like pressed down, it's not going to sit flat. Going to do the same on this. And I might end up cutting out another butterfly because threes always work. From a design perspective, threes typically work a little bit better than twos. Pardon me. So this one I'm going to place right here. And then this one I'm going to place just like that, a little bit on a tiny bit of an angle there. Just adding a little bit of detail here. Added that little 5-cent ticket sticker. I think I might add a couple of chipboard hearts or something here. That's just blending in. It's not doing much. Maybe add another ticket. Now, one thing that I wanted to do was put a little bit of something over here. I think I'm going to actually put my journaling over here. And so I need something to anchor that with. So I'm going to add a small butterfly. I think that this is probably the smallest butterfly there is, other than this one that I've already used. So I think I'm going to use this one. Oh, I could use this one. It's too big. I'm going to use this one. It's introducing red, which isn't on my page yet. Although there's sort of like an orangey. When I saw this paper, what I thought about doing actually was passing it through my brother's Scan and Cut and just cutting all of the butterflies at once and using them all as die cuts, because I really love these butterflies, and that would be a much easier way of, if I'm going to use them all this way, it would be faster to do that with my brother's Scan and Cut. I just wasn't sure that it would cut it very well because they're not outlined in black, but I will probably outline them all in black. So one thing that I could do is I could outline them all in black on the page and then run it through my brother's scan and cut. And then I'd have them all cut out ahead of time, which would prevent me from having to do this. But I don't mind. And I, to be honest, I probably won't use them all. This is one of those papers that I wish I had doubles of. I used to get the extra pattern paper add-on when I didn't pay for my kits back then because she used to send them to me. I wasn't on the design team, but she was kind of like a supporter of the channel, so. Plus, I do like the other side of this paper, so it might be better to not pre-cut all of those butterflies that I may not use. Yeah, when the Scraptastic Kit Club went out of business, or they didn't really go out of business, they just changed their model and started doing more planner stickers and stuff. When that happened, I decided that I would not be doing any more design teams. I was still involved with the Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine. I was a contributing editor to that magazine for a while, and I did some videos for them. Oh yeah, see, I like that. I'll put that over there with my journaling. And so I'll have to get more of those little dimensional adhesives again. Put one on the bottom, one of each of the small, tiny little dimensional adhesives. These are Stampin' Up dimensional adhesive, and if I can fit a big one, I don't know if I can actually. I think I might have to cut it in half. A big one, and I will do a double here. So because I've been laid up in bed and I haven't been able to sit up very much, I was hoping that I could scrapbook in my recovery from my surgeries, but I had to kind of like recline. In fact, I'm going to have to recline again soon. I can only sit up for periods of time, and then my kidney just starts to ache because there's like too much downward pressure or something. Anyhow, that's pretty. I ended up spending a whole lot of time playing video games because I couldn't, TV is just too boring, or I don't know, I couldn't get engaged in TVs and movies and stuff. So I played a ton of video games, and I played this like hospital sim called 2 Point Hospital. I love that game. And the music is completely stuck in my head. They play like this elevator music, kind of like what you'd hear in the background at a hospital. And the music changes every hour or so. So it's not like as repetitive as it sounds, but I've got the music totally stuck in my head. And the whole time that I'm scrapbooking here, I'm thinking, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay. I think I'm playing too many video games. So now I just need some journaling. I need to put my journaling right here. And I think I'm going to draw my journaling on using these lines, like I often do. So we'll put this, I just want to kind of think about balance here. So this is over here, this is going to be kind of like that. And then I don't know exactly what I'm saying on these journaling lines yet, so, but I know I want them to be kind of like that, back and forth. Live, started, work at Sobeys as the third wave of the pandemic began. I'm actually going to put a little bit of adhesive here in the middle so that I can hold that down while I staple it. I just want it to be in the right place. You know what's bugging me? You can probably guess what's bugging me. That this has red and these don't have red, and that's like, I like the size of that one, but I feel like I wish there was some red over here. And I could replace this flower with, or this butterfly with this one, and that would add some red there. That's what I'm thinking. Is that the right size? I think it is, yeah. Alrighty. This is not necessary, by the way. I thought I'd just point that out, that this layout will probably look fine without replacing this butterfly. But I know myself, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this so that I can feel better about it. So let's... This butterfly isn't nearly as bold as the one that I'm replacing it with because it doesn't have those black dots on it. So I actually think I'm going to add some black dots to it. Just because that's one of the things that made me like that butterfly that I put on there in the first place. There, added some black dots. So I am going to have to take a break soon, only for my back and kidney purposes, not because I want to take a break, because I kind of am really enjoying myself and wishing that I could keep going. But I have to take breaks when I have to take breaks. So I'm going to put this butterfly in place at about the same place that the other one was. Maybe Yep, that's good. And then staple it. There we go. All right. I am definitely going to sprinkle these around my page as one of my last things. I think that this can probably go down now. We'll place it right around here. There, it doesn't have to be straight. I kind of want it just slightly askew, not so askew that it looks like obvious, but just a little bit off. All right. So we've got the main structure down, and I know that I want to use these as my final embellishment, but I think I might want to add a little bit more. Maybe not. We might be almost done. Might be pretty much done, but we'll see. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break, and then I'll come back and see how I feel about it, if it needs more or not. So we'll see. Okay, well, hang on. Yeah, it's been a while. I was not expecting that break to take so long, so I said, yeah, we'll take a little bit of a break. And then 2.5 months later, I pull this stuff out again. Well, that wasn't what I intended, but let's just get back to it. I have to sort out both my computer. So all three things have updated. My computer updated, my Final Cut Pro software that I used to edit got updated, and the software that I used to capture this got updated too. So we'll see if I even know how to run things anymore. I can't remember how I turn off autofocus. I know autofocus is annoying, so it's annoying to me anyways. I don't know about you guys. I think I have to turn it off in somewhere. Okay, I'm just going to press pause and get things started, and then I'll come back. Okay, so we're good. I am very sorry for my huge delay in delivering this video. It is now, when I started doing this, according to the date files on my files, it was May 8th, I think, or 7th. It is now July 26th. So what I did when the camera was off is I put these little bundles of string in here, and all that I did was I took my baker's twine, and I just basically, usually what I do is I just kind of like wrap it around a finger or two, but I don't want it to be too neat, so I just kind of get a bundle started that way, and then just kind of make it go all the different ways, and then I cut it off. I just want it to be kind of textured and interesting looking. Cut it off right around there, snip snip, and tuck it right in there. Now I haven't glued it yet, if memory serves me correctly. It's been a very long time since I've used my glue, so we have glue boogers, but probably not a whole lot of glue coming out. So I'm going to move this, put a blob of glue right in there. You see that glob of glue right there by my fingernail? That's all you need. This stuff is pretty strong holding, and this will be under a page protector and whatnot. Going to do the same thing over here. Pull this back, add a bigger blob here, because I don't think I added quite enough on the other. There we go. I will add a little bit more here just to, oops, that's not what I wanted. You just don't want it to show, right? There we go. So if it shows, just dab it off with your fingertip and then make sure you clean your hands or your fingers will be sticky for ever and ever. Because that Tombow Mono Multi never dries. There we go, and just tuck that little stray string in there. And now we're up to speed. Now, at this point, I was thinking I was done in the other video, but I've been giving it some thought and looking at it for the past well, no, I haven't looked at it for the past 2.5 months, but I looked at it today after having a nice long break from looking at it, and there's cat hair and everything on it. And I'm not only going to add some of these, I am going to add these. I also would like to add some of these stickers right here. And I'm thinking these heart ones are speaking to me right now. These little outline hearts. And I like them in both the gold and the black. So, like for instance, I'm going to put one right there, and then I'll put its little companion right here, and then I'll put another one over here, and then a little solid one right here, because it's getting to be a little bit too you know, tight over here to put another outline one. These ones are bigger. And I think I'll also put one right here. And maybe one down. Don't want it to be necessarily going exactly the same way. Also not exactly right underneath of it, like that. And then put this one. You know what? I like the size of this one better. Even though that puts two black ones right beside each other, that's okay. In the random world, that happens sometimes. Same things land beside one another. So I do like that. I also feel like there's a place for this gold scalloped border. Like right there. And you know what? I kind of also would like to have a little bit of it over on the other side as well. So I'm gonna interrupt it like that and place this right here. Good. And these are really nice puffy stickers. I like them. There's another one of those scalloped borders there if I needed one, but I don't. And now I'm going to put these ones. They're kind of more vivid than the other ones, and I think they're gonna stand out nicely. Where? Maybe right there. I think I'll go with this kind of warm peachy color as well. I'm just going to replace this one with a slightly bigger one for a bit of variation. There we go. So we've got a bigger one and a smaller one in each of the 3 places. We have hearts in the 3 places, and we have 2 butterflies here and 1 there. No butterfly here, but that's okay. We've got tickets there, so that'll do. Very good. I like this. I like this. Let me just check one thing. You know what I'm thinking? I want a butterfly in a 3rd place. Yep, that's exactly what I'm thinking, and that's exactly what I want. So I'm going to actually place it. Like, one thing that I could do is use these tickets as an anchor, like a background anchor for this butterfly. Yeah, I think that is what I'm going to do. This is the butterfly that didn't make it over here. It was too big to sit with these ones, but I think it works quite well right here. It doesn't have the red on it, but that's fine. That one doesn't have red on it either. So yeah, I'm going to do this. I don't know how my tiny attacher is going to like this request, but we'll see. We'll see what she thinks of it. Will she comply? That's the question. Yeah, she did it. Thank you. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Right, it was missing something, and now it isn't, so that's good. I'm going to put some more journaling here too, and I'm going to use my same little journaling template to draw some lines. Found my Sharpie marker. So I'm mindful of the fact that this strong line here is not, so if I make these lined up with this bottom of the page and this is not lined up with the bottom of the page, it's going to look like these lines are like triangular, like off at a wrong angle. So I'm actually going to line up my journaling with this, not with this. So this is lined up, I'm tilting it so that it's tilted to go with this. Hopefully that makes some sense. And that's just what I'm going with. I think 2 lines will be plenty for what I want to say here, but I'm not entirely sure. My template just has a break there, and so I just fill it in by hand. I'm writing, she applied way back in November, but they weren't hiring. When they, I guess I do need another line. When they oops. When they finally called for an interview, they, oh, I need another line. Totally underestimating the amount of words I'm saying here. Okay. It's better to add more lines than to have too many and then have to elaborate to fill them. Oops, that shifted as I drew. There we go. This is definitely the final line. And see, that looks kind of weird because it's on an angle, but it's okay because this is on an angle too. It's all right. Either way would be fine. Alternatively, I could have made my lines go in a row and then you'd get this kind of uneven part would have been between these two instead of between this and the bottom of the page. It's fine either way. She applied way back in November, but they weren't hiring. When they finally called for an interview, they hired her on the spot. I feel like some little emoji stamps would be cute there. I don't have emoji stamps, but little tiny ones, like little $ eyeball emojis and that sort of thing would be kind of cute there. So if you have that kind of supply, that's a nice place to use them, is right in there. I don't even know if they make that sort of thing, but it would be cool if they made little teensy weensy emojis that would be like the size of your journaling so you could fill in little gaps. Stamp makers, hear my cry. Okay, and we're done. Chef's kiss. Mwah, perfect. All finished. A done page is a perfect page. It's in my album. Well, it will be in a few minutes anyways. Thanks for watching.